Next, I want to cover just a few more rules of exponents. These rules involve the exponents where you don't have the same base necessarily. So, exponents continued is what I'll call this video. Exponents continued. So, the first two rules deal with how do you get rid of parentheses when you have an exponent. So, let's say we have something like x times y and it's being raised to the n. The way you get rid of the parentheses is you distribute the n into the parentheses. So this would become x to the n times y to the n. Let's look at another one. Let's say we had x over y to the n. By distributing the n into the parentheses, we would get x to the n over y to the n. That's how we get rid of it. So let's go through a couple of example problems. Let's say we had x squared times y to the fourth raised to the third. Well, how do we get rid of these? Well, we distribute the 3 into each of the exponents. When you have an exponent raised to an exponent, as we discussed in the last video, you multiply. So this would become x to the 6th over y to the 12th. Let's say we had x to the third over y squared to the fifth. Again, we distribute this exponent into each term, so this would become x to the 15th over y to the 10th. Another rule of exponents that's going to be important for us to cover is negative exponents. Well, what is a negative exponent? Let's say you have x raised to the negative n. The way to get rid of it is simply move it down into the denominator. Similarly, if you have a negative exponent in the denominator, you simply want to move it into the numerator. Let's go through an example of this. Say we had x to the negative 7 times y to the negative 2 over x squared times y squared. Well, in order to get rid of these negative exponents here, we have to move them down. So this would become, in the top, we're left with 1 because there's no negative exponent left. I'm moving the x to the 7th down. I'm moving the x squared down. I'm moving the y squared down, and I have my y squared down here as well. When you're multiplying exponents, you add them. So this would become 1 over x to the 9th times y squared. That would be your answer.